Meeting to order, please.
It's for, sorry.
You're good. Please rise for the opening prayer and the pledge of allegiance.
Watch out, you're knocking the.
I see that. I'm very careful.
Yeah, you can't really.
Joe, you're up.
Well, I'm trying to get him situated here. Dear Heavenly Father, we just ask that you be with us tonight as we do the business for the village of Elsie. May we do it to the best of our ability and to your glory and honor. We ask this in your Son's name. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hoorah for Tom. I got time this or something.
And you're gonna have to fix the projector because you messed it up.
That's okay.
It's meant for us.
I didn't mess it up.
Do it.
He messed it up when he slid back.
Any corrections, additions, or deletions to the agenda this evening?
I will motion to set the agenda as written.
Second. Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. I'd like to open the public hearing for proposed drinking water improvement project. Open the floor to FMB Engineering.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
I hope it stays. Okay. All right. Try to get out of everybody's way so you can see the projector. And I can get you a copy of the PowerPoint PDF for your minutes or whatever
That'd be
you
great.
need. The purpose of this public hearing is to just present the needed improvements, need for a project, alternatives that we looked at with the village staff, and then go through some costs and talk about funding. The purpose of this is to try to qualify for drinking water state revolving fund project funding. So we'll talk through what that is here in a minute. And my name is Elaine Venema, project manager at FMB, and I have Kavanaugh Dowd with me as well. Who's going to go through a couple of the slides. We will take questions at the end, since it's a presentation and then a Q&A format. So if you have questions, we will take those at the end. So I'll hand it off to Kavanaugh for the first couple slides here.
Hello everyone, my name is Kevin Dowd. I'm an EIT at FMB. So this is just a background of the existing conditions within the village regarding your water distribution system as well as your water storage system. So currently the village owns and operates its own water distribution system. This current system is composed of a lot of aging infrastructure regarding the water mains. A vast majority of those were built in the 1930s. They are cast iron and they are past their expected useful life. So they're rusted, as well as some tuberculation within the pipes themselves, which means that inner diameter has shrunk, so your capacity has decreased as well. Additionally, one of the groundwater supply wells, well number 1, is also in poor condition. It's past its useful life and looking to be retired soon, or recommended to be retired soon. As I previously said, these older water mains, they currently are below the minimum diameter recommended by EGLE. So this will limit your capacity firefighting. You'll have lower pressures. Also, it's just a smaller main, so you're going to get less capacity in general. This is combined with the fact that your groundwater supply has naturally high currents of iron and manganese, and this, specifically the iron. So that results in aesthetic water quality issues. You may notice color, odor, taste. The water itself is safe to drink. It's just not the highest quality. And there is current treatment. There's existing treatment currently. However, it's proven ineffective. Still complaints of water quality issues regarding taste. So that is an issue that needs to be addressed. So here's just the current population and some population projections. So according to the 2020 census, there are approximately 930 people within the village, and the village has 437 water customers. That includes households as well as industrial uses. Here is a 2046 projected population. It's 992 people, so it is projected to have a nominal growth. The census utilizes a growth rate of 0.25% per year, so it's relatively small, but it is going to grow. So here's the need for this project. This is just a summary of current issues being faced by the village. The water quality, as I said before, aesthetically, it's not very high. You have issues, taste, odor, color, can stain appliances. And so this is due to the naturally elevated levels of iron in the groundwater supply. As I said, this has negative impacts on taste and color, odor. Additionally, this causes iron sedimentation within your mains, in the water tower, and within meters. So you can get little iron, kind of looks like dust, powder, in the water mains, and this can cause clogs, as well as comes out of the water. It just doesn't look appealing. And it also can affect accuracy of your meters as well as clog water mains. So once again, you have some aging infrastructure. The oldest water mains were built between 1936 and 1937, and the exact quality of these water mains is unknown. However, they can frequently cause water main bursts at this age, especially when they're that far past their water or their useful life. Pardon?
And they do.
Yes, they do. So you might have noticed some issues with water main breaks. That is because they are beyond their existing useful life and they are in poor quality. So you see the cast iron pipes beyond their useful life. That reduces the distribution system performance, so you'll have lower water pressure, lower capacities. So even though they might be 6-inch in diameter, over years of rust and tuberculation, which is basically just growth within inside the pipes, their actual capacity is diminished. So you might not even be getting what you might on paper. And so these cause interruptions to service. They can also cause potential contaminations to the water supply due to these water breaks. Anytime you have an opening like that is a risk. Additionally, these are undersized and they limit your firefighting capacity. So a recent study identified that there are many low pressure zones that do not reach the rated pressures needed for firefighting recommended by EGLE. So you might have issues during firefighting events getting the necessary quantity of water at the pressures required, which can be very risky, potentially life-threatening. So the main objectives of this DWSRF project are to improve the overall water quality and provide reliable drinking water and firefighting capacity. Additionally, we'd like to replace those high priority infrastructure, so these smaller water mains, the aging well. Doing so will allow us to comply with EGLE and 10 state standards and ISO guidelines, so they have recommendations for pipe diameter, needed quantity and pressures for firefighting situations, just to ensure in the case of emergency can be handled. Additionally, we'd like to minimize costs. One of the main objectives of the DWSRF is to evaluate all options available and all alternatives. And in doing so, you do an economic analysis and determine if our selected alternative truly meets the community needs without costing more than it needs to. Additionally, we'd like to minimize the environmental impacts, so construction impacts, as well as potential future impacts associated with these aging infrastructure. So here's a list of our alternatives. The first alternative, alternative A, is no action, so that would be just continuing as is. This fails to meet all project goals. It will not improve the water quality, it will not replace any of that infrastructure, it will not meet the necessary demand or pressures required for firefighting, and you will see additional issues in the future. Alternative B is to optimize performance of the existing system. This is currently already being undergone. Like I said, you guys have water treatment infrastructure in place, but it's not meeting the standards of the quality that the community wants. So that was also an alternative. Alternative C is regionalization. So this would mean utilizing your regional partners to serve the water you need or provide the necessary quantities required. And alternative D was to construct the necessary improvements. So this involves the replacement of undersized water main, the installation of a new well, as well as an iron removal plant to lower those iron concentrations.
All right, so because this is a state program, they have things you have to look at. So we have to look at the no action alternative. So you wouldn't, like Kavanaugh mentioned, you wouldn't do a project. That doesn't really solve a lot of the issues facing the village with your water supply system, right? So we can kind of throw that out as not meeting project objectives. The next one is optimization of your current system. Now, you are doing iron sequestration with a chemical feed at the wells, but the levels that the iron is in the groundwater naturally, it's really above what's recommended for sequestration. So that chemical isn't really helping that much. So I'm sure you can attest to that, but they are feeding chemical there, but there's not like you can add more chemical to make it better, right? Like that's not really how it works. So there's not really a way to optimize that system without removing the iron. And there's really no way to optimize aging water main without doing a construction project. So this alternative doesn't really meet project objectives. The next one is regionalization. Ovid is the nearest water supply, but it's about just over 6 miles to their well fields. So we'd have to construct a 6 1/4 mile transmission main and at least one booster station. And that alone would be $6 to $8 million for that pipe and booster station. And then we'd also still need to do the water main work for your distribution system. And there's some minor stuff that needs to be done at the existing elevated storage tank. So if you add all that together, it's much more costly than what we're going to look at for the next alternative. So the next alternative is really just to construct the necessary improvements that would address all these issues. So number one issue is replacing and upsizing those specific sections of 4-inch water main, the old cast iron stuff. That's going to improve your fire flow. It's going to improve reliability of your system, so you won't be having quite as many water main breaks. So that's kind of addressing the distribution stuff. And then adding a loop on Simonson and White. There's kind of 2 dead ends there that were called out in a previous study as really needed to be looped to provide better, less stagnation and better water quality in your distribution system. As far as the water quality itself, constructing an iron removal plant is really the only way with the levels of iron that are present to really reduce that iron where it's not going to cause staining of faucets and rusty colored water and things like that. The next item is replacing that well number 1. That's the one kind of in the northern part of town. That well is from 1937, and a recent inspection kind of showed that it really needs to get retired and replaced. So to do that, we're proposing to put another well near the other newer wells, kind of by the water tower, so that you can have a centrally located iron removal plant can treat all 3 wells. And then there was an inspection of the elevated storage tank that had some kind of minor improvements. The storage tank is kind of big for the number of customers on it, and so we'd like to add a mixer to kind of keep that water moving. Stagnant water does bad things, so we want to keep that water moving, keep it fresh, turn it over. And then there were some other minor items in the storage tank inspection that were some painting of the certain pipes and stuff inside. Go to the next one. So alternative D is really the only alternative that meets those project objectives. Along with this project, we'd be replacing about 1.5 miles of water main. There's a map, I think, coming up that will show exactly where these are. But East Main Street from Second to the dead end is a 4-inch cast iron, one that is called out to be upsized to the minimum 8-inch. Along South Ovid from Maple to the dead end also is a 4-inch cast that needs to get upsized. Similarly, North Ovid Street from Maple to the railroad tracks is also undersized old cast iron main that should be replaced and upsized. And then there's those 2 dead ends on Simonson Street and White Street that really need to get connected. And then we already talked about constructing that new well. It would be located near the other 2 newer wells, and we'd have an iron removal plant to treat all of the water from those 3 wells, and then installing a mixer system and doing some other minor improvements to the elevated storage tank. Total project cost for all of these improvements is just over $9 million. It's $9.23 million. So it's a big project. This is kind of how that comes out. It's about half water main replacement costs and about about a third, sorry, I can do math. A third water main replacement, about a third for the well house, and the iron removal plant, that's included in that. And then a little bit here in storage, tank improvements. And with a big project like this, you've got to pay for a quality contractor, so they're going to have their mobilization, their general conditions, bonds, insurance, and things like that. And then there is a little piece of property that needs to be purchased near the existing well field so that we can have enough room for the 3rd well and the iron removal plant. And then engineering as well. So I know it's a big number. We can keep going here. So this is a map that kind of shows, this is that north section of water main that needs to get replaced, going to the north. This is to the south. This one's that other piece there, and then there's the water main loop for those dead ends on Simonson and White. Now this is an aerial shot. It kind of shows, it shows, you can kind of see the shadow of the tower. The tower's kind of right here, but the way the aerial photo shows it, you can see the shadow really well because you're looking down at it. The village currently owns like this red triangle piece or rectangular piece here, and the 2 wells are sited here. And so we need to put another well in, and there is a required isolation distance of at least 200 feet from the other wells. So that would need to be approximately here. And then also the iron removal plant would go up here, just to the north of the tower. And so there would need to be some property acquired, which is shown in this kind of blue rectangle here, to fit all of that on one site. So, environmental review, we kind of looked at some impacts. All the water main work is already within the road right of way. It's already been used as a water main utility corridor, so there's not really any long-term impacts to any environmental, no wetlands or anything like that. There would be some short-term temporary construction impacts with that water main work. We got excavators out here, we'll cause some dust and some noise. But that can all be managed through setting, work hours from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. or something, whatever the village wants for that. And we'll make sure that if we have to do traffic detours, the contractor will coordinate that with the village and make sure that people can get to their homes and things like that. The new iron removal plant site and the new well would require kind of acquiring some of that adjacent farmland next to what's already owned by the village. But it's a pretty small amount, it's only about 8 acres, so it's not a huge amount compared to that overall parcel size. And it's really needed to benefit the whole community. And then the biggest benefit is really improved water quality and a more reliable drinking water system for the residents here. So, this is probably the part everybody's most interested in, is how much is it gonna cost you, right? So, unfortunately, Eagle changed their overburdened requirements this year, and they always use the latest median household income, which just came out in March, and the village's median household income actually went up a surprising amount. And so when we looked at this, me and Destiny and the financial advisor last fall, looking at what the median household income was for the previous year, we thought, sure thing, you'll be overburdened. Well, I looked at it again more recently, and it's just over the threshold for that overburdened cutoff.
You gotta move out of town, Mark.
It's it was actually $1,018 a year over the cutoff for overburdened, unfortunately. And I did talk to Eagle today to see if there's any wiggle room on that, and there is not. And so the village doesn't qualify as overburdened this year, which means it would likely be a loan-only funding package, although Eagle hasn't been super forthcoming with how much principal forgiveness or grants they might have available. They do give it to overburdened communities first, and it just depends how many applicants they get that meet that, as far as how much, they can give out, who gets it. So that's kind of the bad news. We did look at the estimated user rate for that whole $9.23 million project. It's estimated at about an $87 per month rate increase to your water bills. But that's for the whole project. We could work out a reduced scope and just do the water mains or some of the other more urgent items. And the village is pursuing additional funding sources. So USDA Rural Development has a utility water and sewer grant and loan funding package that we can apply for. We did, the village, Destiny, did talk to the state senate, the U.S. senators for Michigan, Slotkin and Peters, to put in a request for community development or community project funding. And they do that every year. So even if you don't get it this year, you could potentially get it next year. And like I mentioned before, the SRF final funding package doesn't really come out until fall. So the application for this year is due June 1st, which is why we're having this meeting here in May. So we'll submit the full final project plan, and they'll score it. Eagle has a scoring system, so you get points for, improving water quality, improving redundancy, adding a mixer to your tank actually gets you points. One of the reasons it's in here. You get points for being overburdened, which you're not, so you won't get those ones. But there are a number of points that you will get, and then Eagle will look at that and rank it compared to the other communities that apply for this. And then they'll go down their list and come up with their funding packages for each person on the list in fundable range. That usually comes out, the draft list usually early September. They have out for public comment for about 30 days. Well, exactly 30 days because it's in law. And then between when the draft and the final is finished, we can have those discussions with the financial advisor. Like if they say it's all going to be loan, that $9 million is all going to be loan, and it's going to be 2 3/4% interest, and it's 30 years, that's going to be that $87, and you're like, oh, we can't do that this year. Let's do, the $5 million to get the water main and stuff done, or something like that. So there is time between when that draft list comes out and when the final list comes out. And there's also, rural development takes applications all the time. SRF's kind of like it's due in June, and then you can't apply until like next June, although you have to put your intent to apply in November, which is kind of weird, it's a two-step process. But rural development will take applications year-round. So we could take this project plan, the thick one, that I think there's a copy in the back of, and send that to rural development and see what kind of funding package that they can provide. And they have a slightly different calculation for overburdened or poverty. So we can see, and they also have a 4-year loan term. So it's longer, it's a little more in interest over time, but it could reduce this per resident rate increase. So there are some options, okay? So I don't want you to necessarily zero in on that dollar amount
Now,
today.
Elaine, is that rural development, is that the same that we were discussing with the federal EPA, or is that different?
That's different.
Okay.
Yeah, rural development is through, it's what you did your lagoon project for. So you're a little familiar with that one.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it is 40 years, so you're stuck with that debt for a long time, but it does reduce the amount per month that residents would see. So there are some options. There's other funding. EDA sometimes has funding if you can get an industrial user to come here. There might be some opportunity to do some of that. So, and you know, SRF always looks at the MAHI every year, so it is possible you could qualify as overburden next year. It is just something that they redo every year. So, all right. So, anticipated schedule, assuming that this project moves forward and is funded at a level that the village feels you can take on this fiscal year. We would be submitting the project plan in June, and then that final funding package would come out in the fall, and then we'd have to start design pretty soon because SRF has a pretty rigid construction schedule. You have to close your loan with the Michigan Finance Authority August 2027, and so you have to have design done and bids in hand to do that. So kind of working backwards from that, you'd have to do like your design between the late fall and the early spring, go out for bids in May, open those in June of next year, and then close on the loan, and then start construction. And they probably won't do too much in fall, winter, it just depends on the weather. So most of that construction would be in the spring, summer, and fall of 28. So, we'll take questions at this time. Did you want to take questions from the village council first and then the public, or just whoever?
Yeah, why don't we have council members first and then we'll
Okay.
move it over to public if we can.
Okay.
So I got a question real quick about, first things first, does Craig own that property?
Yes.
Yeah, so there's Craig on the one side, and then, Emily, sure,
Have them conversations been had already?
no.
Because that's, I mean, that part of the project's dead in the water unless we can accumulate that.
Well, that's not true, because well number one, we can move it, but we would have to do something with another water main, correct? Chris, did we figure that out, so we can have it under the road? Well number one doesn't necessarily have to be there, it's recommended, correct?
Right.
Right. If you get an iron removal plant, well longer here in Cow. You have an iron removal plant down there, you gotta have dedicated main from that down to that. So, the cost of leaving it here,
It would add more cost.
is have more cost.
Yeah, so yeah, if we don't get that chunk property correct, then the price goes up, basically.
Yes.
Well-
Because if we get it from the person behind them, then we have to pipe it all the way around and cost goes up.
No, did you talk to her about Emily's?
Yeah, I told her about Emily.
'Cause there was another one there, just to the north.
Yeah, so The biggest thing, this is all preliminary, we could move this well, the proposed well, up further that way and have the iron removal plant, you just kind of have to buy
Extend up
property
as
north.
opposed to where.
So that wouldn't cost more.
That's all shooks up there.
As long as we can
On
keep it
this side of that fence row.
Oh, okay.
over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. As long as they're 200 feet away from each other.
Okay, I see.
So this is kind of preliminary. This would be the easiest, just based on where these wells are at.
It's just, I mean, I get that, it's just dependent on, have we talked to either or not neither?
I'm waiting on the council to approve it. Can't really start business until we get approval.
I don't disagree, but it's hard to make a decision on something like that with so many unknowns. That's a big unknown, I mean.
Well, I mean, realistically, worst case scenario, you know, if both proposed are not available and we reassess the situation, you know, there may be, you know, something else available or something that is more doable. It's gonna cost more, sure, but if we can secure a grant by certain timing or something comes along that's available for timing, you know, it could outweigh the situation.
Right.
So,
I don't think the property's as negative of a problem as it sounds.
I don't think so either, just because, I mean, it's kind of in an arm pit. And, you know, I mean, all you're doing is taking a corner off the parcel. Because we already own that center portion right there. So they're already going up to that corner there. So realistically, all you're doing is elongating just the parcel.
So on the other side of the drive, do we own that, or is that his, the one that, the grass part still? We own the whole grassed area?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Pretty close. Really small.
But worst case scenario, if we have to go to the corner in that other lot, I don't think it would be that much more money to do that.
No, it would just be, instead of having this part,
Right.
you'd
It'd
be
just be
up in
further
here.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, which really doesn't affect the piping or anything.
Right.
Would you guys have an idea of the annual operating costs that iron removal plant?
It's actually not that much more than what you're currently doing. It'd probably be about break even because, I don't know, probably babysitting that thing a little bit with the chemical feed and all the main breaks too, so. They're pretty automated now.
Yeah, the only difference is like Ovid has one. They have to go flush it once a week.
Yep.
You just backwash it.
That's
Once that water run, backwash to it and close valves, put it back on.
Works the same as like an iron breaker in a house, it's just on a larger scale?
Yeah.
Well, and we're
You're
spending
getting water
how much in chemicals.
Right, okay, yeah, I.
A lot.
Yeah.
So that eliminates a lot of the chemical costs then, this plant will?
I'm not sure on that. I thought, my thinking was yes, but I was told, no, you're still gonna use some.
You'll still
Correct, but
use-
it'll cut it back.
It's gonna cut it back.
Yeah, you won't have to use as much of the sequestration chemical, the polyphosphate, but you'll still need to add, the chlorine.
And that's $451 a 30-gallon barrel right now. And I go through 1 month.
Right.
So,
Plus the time of babysitting it.
And if
And
there's
this
a,
is much more efficient.
and if there's that word with that we hate to say, it's a lot more.
Right.
Other questions from council?
By doing the water main situation, what is it gonna do to homeowners that have, say, inlet lines that are already deteriorated or already clogged? Is it gonna cause their homes to,
Increased pressure.
well, no, well, yeah, it's gonna
Well-
increase pressure, but you're also talking, you know, like I redid my brother's over by your house, when my brother lived here, you couldn't slide a pencil through it, and it was a 3/4 inch pipe. My concern would be, with the added increase of water pressure, what's it gonna do? Is it going
could push
to,
your stuff through.
it's gonna push stuff through?
Or knock everything loose that's in the existing.
On the
ones, you know,
Oh,
flip
yeah,
side,
it's gonna find the weak spots.
Yeah.
We just checked everybody's feeds and we don't have any iron feeds left, right?
No, we didn't. Everything I found was copper and plastic.
So there's less concern of the inlets bursting or anything like that.
Right, it's just
There's gonna be garbage inside of them because of the 80 or 100 years of
Few months
Trash.
probably. And people are gonna wanna be emptying out their screens.
Right,
It'd be like a big flush.
yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be like a big flush.
We would really, yeah.
At one time
At,
for
at the
everybody.
end of the
Have a
situation,
little.
you know, it's
Yeah,
gonna be the improvement.
I mean, I think that's minimal damage for what,
That's just.
say damage, and that's a pretty negative word, but that's a minimal impact for
For
the
the trash.
positiveness
Yeah.
coming
I think
from.
we're.
Would hydrant flushing improve that, or?
yeah, I mean, so whenever you put a new water main in service, you have to flush it for a stipulated amount of time. You've gotta chlorinate it, check it, flush it. So we can just, you know, work with the village to advise the residents that if they're on that section of new water main, to let their faucets run for a stipulated amount of time, and then to check their aerator screen on their faucets and things like that. We could also put into the spec, like, if they do come across any taps, because they're gonna have to, you know, tap the new main, if they come across leads to the homes that are in bad shape, we could potentially look at replacing it or cleaning it out at the minimum. We could probably do an allowance for that.
The new meters are gonna plug up.
Probably.
Well, that's what-
Well, I know, because my meter had to be replaced because it plugged up.
Right.
The biggest ones that they did, like when I take them out.
Oh, I'm sure.
Will that, the new main, like on Main, or on, Ovid Street there, how far out is that going to impact, like pressure wise? Is it like a block, 2 blocks? Are we looking? like,
No, it'll be,
Quite a bit of,
it'll be the whole, like if you're looking at these two.
yeah.
No,
Well, either way.
Yeah,
So like my house is up in the northeast corner,
up here.
Upper East Side.
right there where that, yep, right where the line, yeah.
Um,
Higher than that,
Fancy
yeah.
properties.
Everything that is
You're in the
connected
fancy
to
neighborhood, but-
that main's gonna benefit from that, so. Pretty, I mean, where those are located, it's gonna be most of the village is gonna see it improved,
It's primarily volume, not pressure. 'cause
Yeah,
pressure's
it's primarily
regulated by
volume.
the water,
yeah, especially during fire, events. I know, I was told there was an incident a little while back where
2023.
a tanker truck had to be filled up elsewhere and brought here. So, we want to avoid that. When you attach it to your hydrant, we want there to be enough flow. Not 100 GPM, we want it to be 500 to 1,000, which is not what the hydraulic model shows in some of this area.
Yeah, I know we don't have that now. I can't wash my hands and take a shower at the same time.
And again, this $9 million project, that's just the 5-year plan. I mean, we didn't even get into the 10-year plan, 20-year plan. So,
Yeah. Yep.
What would the term of the loan be, how many years?
So DWSRF has 2 options. If you're not overburdened, you can do a 20-year loan, and that's typically, at least last year, it was at 2.5% interest. They haven't released the numbers for the next fiscal year, but it's been the same for the last 3. And then the 30-year loan is at 2 3/4.
What is the payment you gave us was for the first one?
It was for 2 3/4 over 30 years. So if you do 2.5 over 20 years, it's more.
More expensive, yeah.
Yep. But it is better than you'd get at the bank. Especially right now.
Oh, I agree,
Yeah.
and if we remember, I mean, here's another thing. When we talked to USDA about our sewer loan, and we kind of brought this up too with the water main situation, and they told us they basically wouldn't even consider us for a loan because the water rates were too low. So, you know, we've climbed a mountain and We need to make that mountain a nice sloped hill
Yeah.
With a waterfall.
with a waterfall.
Well, like she said, this is just the stepping stone. We got more to go, look at all the streets. How many fire hydrants don't work?
Be quicker to say how many do.
How many do?
Huh?
Yeah.
Many,
How many water lines can we turn on and off?
yeah, that's what, a lot of valves gotta be fixed.
Right. So this is just to give us volume to start. So,
Gotta start somewhere.
yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
But in my mind, you know, this is the place to start because, you know, number one, it brings up the volume. Number two, it gets the iron started coming out. So now when we move to, you know, segment 2 or segment 3 or segment 4 down the road, we're less iron, we've got more volume, you know, and then it's
And
just,
we get points for that.
and then we get points for that, so.
With our removal point, we already start,
Fixing,
you start fixing it, yes, and not making the current pipes worse as they have been,
correct.
you know.
I mean, for me, the plan, I think, as far as, obviously, we have a little bit more working knowledge of what's going on and the people that are here listening to this. But to the people that don't pay attention, I think the water, or the treatment plant is gonna be the biggest noticeable impact
Yeah.
that the village is gonna see.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Well, in my opinion too, I hate to say it, but I think a big one's gonna be shutting this well down and tapping a new hole.
Yep.
You know,
To the layman eye, it's the taste, the color, the smell. So once you improve that, I'm not gonna say complaints are gonna go away by any means, but it's gonna help mitigate a lot of that.
Well, we can't even keep up with our fire hydrant flushes. I mean, every day, how many people come in, hey, can you go flush, can you go flush?
Flush mine out, yeah.
I mean, they flush and boom, it
No,
lasts for like, what, Chris, few days? Depends on the area.
Do you need a motion to buy Kelsey a hydrant wrench? Is that what you're
That'd
asking?
be awesome, or we can go find that one, you know?
Well, it depends on the fire
well, it's
hydrant.
a cool hat.
I can get her one. I
You
can
can
get you a
have
cool
to.
hat too,
You
yeah.
can?
Yep, one of the little plastic ones we give the kids.
Oh, thank you. They'll still fit my head though.
We'll make it fit, don't worry.
I think we kicked this can down the road. I remember
We've got-
talking to the, Mr. Levy from Duplain Township, and he said that this was voted on back in the 80s, the late 80s. And it wasn't,
$200,000 for the project.
That
yeah,
would've been nice.
yeah, now look at it, the
Oh.
same project, today.
Well, I think it's less.
Yeah, but that 200,000 in 1980
It
is
was worth a lot.
is
It was probably more worth.
probably 5 or 6 million now anyway.
Who knows? Yeah. Sorry, any other questions?
That's where I was headed.
Okay.
Does the council
From
have any more
council?
questions?
I've got no additional questions.
We'll open it up to public comment or questions if they have any questions.
All right.
All right, I'll turn it back to you. Well, you can close the public comment, and then I think there's a resolution, later on in your agenda.
Yep. I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion to adjourn.
Public hearing. Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
It's not.
I need an approval for motion to approve the minutes from March 10th and the minutes from April 14th.
You want to separate?
Yes.
Approve the minutes from March 10th?
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the minutes from March 10th. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for April 14th.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the minutes from April 14th. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Presentation of the bills. Bills for the month. Kudos to all village employees for hunkering down and not spending money this month. Bills came to a total of $21,547.61.
That's the shortest list of bills I've seen in a while.
Fit on a half a page.
That's the good work.
That's the next one.
I'll motion to pay the bills for $21,547.
Support.
Who did it?
Tom
Cory.
Joe.
Okay.
Oh, Tom and Cory.
It don't matter.
Did.
Don't matter.
Motion's been made and seconded to pay the bills in the amount of $21,547.61. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Special reports, county commissioner did send an email, I believe. She regrets not being able to be here, as well as Ed White for park.
Ed White did email a letter for his park update, and I'm gonna read that now. With limited time due to the weather and equipment on loan from Summit Contractors, I have pushed back and turned over the leaves, mulch, and compost in the area north of the park. Other than a few patches that would require additional fill, the area is 90% clear of any soft spots, so residents should be able to drive into the loop and drop off their leaves in an orderly fashion, with the hopes that the pile can be mixed and turned after the bulk of leaves have been dropped off this fall. I would humbly suggest some permanent signage directing people to the left for leaves and up the road for brush, as well as pointing out that things like fencing, tires, garbage, diapers, and furniture are not to go in the leaf composting area. So, you could see the leaf bags from Google Earth. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, he did a nice job.
So, yeah, and we discussed this at our last meeting, but kudos to Summit, the company he works for. So I talked to the owner, and I really do feel that we should put a plaque down at the park, because they've helped us out tremendously with equipment that we don't have.
And the signs make a ton of sense.
Yes.
There are some down there right now, but they're kind of broken up.
Do we need a motion for the signs, or?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to purchase.
Let's make it an action step at the next
Okay.
meeting.
Okay.
Being it wasn't on the agenda, we can't really vote on it.
Okay.
So let's get estimates for the signs, and then make it an action step for the next meeting.
Yeah, I just want to wait. I know Kelsey and Ed have kind of been designing it, for what arrows to go where.
Well, there's already two out there that, we just want a copy of those.
Okay.
Basically, there's two that are about this big. One says leaf bags this way, one says brush this way.
Okay.
Well, that's fine.
And
Make
space
it-
with an arrow.
Make a design and get a quote on it and bring
Yeah.
it back to the next meeting.
Okay.
Okay, did you have one from Nicole or no?
Nope.
Okay, moving on. Village business update, next month's meeting, we're gonna keep it 7 o'clock as well, we're gonna run a format similar to this. So we'll add the special meetings inside our own again, seems to work out pretty good, so. Other than that, on to the clerk treasurer.
I've been working progressively on the Elsie.org website. There are new pavilion rental, paperless billing, and citizen complaint online. The citizen complaint form now also has an option to upload photos, which should assist with the blight enforcement. The Elsie area business listings is now under the community resources in the navigation menu. The bill payment button in the navigation menu will bring you directly to the Village of Elsie BSNA website to view records or make payments on your accounts. Utility bills are due last week, and the accounts that are past due above a certain amount will be sent shut-off notices before the upcoming bills go out in June. 16 shut-off notices were sent out previously, 8 were shut off on the shut-off date, and out of all the shut-off accounts, they all have payment arrangements or have made payment. I'm estimating 8 upcoming shut-off notices to be sent out. The water meter upgrade appointments have reduced this month, with roughly 15 appointments being made since the April council meeting. I will continue to send out notices through the utility bills. Chris and I have also talked, I'm going to go door to door a little bit too. There's a couple of them that I think there's outside a little bit, and they haven't really responded yet. The Hero Park brick order forms are available in the village office during normal business hours. The cost for a red 4x4 brick is $50, and the cost for a red 8x8 brick is $75. We are sending them to be engraved in sets of 10. The black 8x8 honorary scripture bricks are free and require a chosen scripture verse. Pavilion rentals have started to flow in for graduation and family celebrations. There are currently 6 upcoming pavilion reservations for 2026. Please be advised that the DPW has recently been working on water lines around the pavilions, mainly around Pavilion 3. And that's all.
Make a motion to approve the village clerk treasurer report.
I second that.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Police report.
The Elsie Police Department conducted 7 traffic stops, resulting in 2 citations this month. Complaints have increased with 1 call for service from last month, with a total of 37 calls for service in the village of Elsie. Total of 169 hours were worked at the Elsie Police Department. Police activity for the month of April consisted of traffic enforcement, motor carrier enforcement, medical assists, and several ordinance violations, and of course, community policing. In addition to attending several training courses this month regarding annual CPE training requirements, as well as assisting several of our residents with financial, health, and welfare resources. On April 22nd, 2026, the Criminal Processing and Modification Unit of the Michigan State Police conducted a Quality Assurance Review, also known as a QRA audit, QAR audit of the Elsie Police Department. This audit was conducted through various law enforcement agencies within Clinton County. I am happy to announce that the Elsie Police Department received a score of 100%, focusing on accuracy, completeness, and timeless of records within the department. Code and zoning enforcement has continued. There are currently 3 properties here in the village of Elsie that are working diligently and making significant progress cleaning up years of blight accumulation. We have spent approximately $100 on certified letters that have gone out due to ordinance violations, specifically to address unregistered vehicles, junk accumulation, and also tall grass. These letters have all been signed by property owners and will be attached to case files accordingly. I look forward to reviewing additional ordinances with the Ordinance Committee to help make the village of Elsie great again and to accommodate the needs and convenience of our residents. As always, looking for another great month here in Elsie.
Congratulations on the 100%.
Thank you.
Yes, good work.
Yes, and I would like to say that people have been cleaning up. It does look a hell of a lot better around here.
Yeah, it does. My neighbors.
I make a motion to approve the police report.
Second.
A motion's been made and seconded to accept the police report. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Village manager.
All right, so I told you the good news, now I'm going to tell you a little bit of bad news. I'm sad to announce that we have not been selected for any CDS appropriation funding this year. However, on a positive note, the fire department here in Elsie is still on the top 3 list for CDS appropriation funding of $900,000. So kudos to them, kudos to you. I know they have been working diligently with Tim Fair and the Clinton County Catalyst. Steve Adair and I have been working on year-end reporting for FY26, as well as the deficit elimination reporting filings that are due on the 15th of every month, as well as preparing the payroll audit for 26 to 27 policy year with MML. On April 22nd of 2026, I met with Treasury and they advised that due to internal and external constraints, they will be unable to fund our request for funding FMB Engineering project plan costs regarding our DWSRF project plan and the Woodhill CFO services. However, FDCVT grants are expected to be announced within the next month. As we all recall, I have submitted grant requests for fire hydrant replacements and also a mini excavator. Treasury thanked the council and myself for staying on track and truly focusing on becoming financially responsible in hopes of being able to get out of our financial deficit that we are still currently in. Treasury also forwarded a grant opportunity for the fire department regarding the purchase of fire equipment or fire gear for firefighters. I've emailed this information along to Chief Bowen of the Elsie Fire Department and Fire Board members. I believe the grant is approximately $50,000 with a deadline of June 19th.
It's actually more than
Well, that's even better.
that. It's 50 for each township.
On April 30th, 2026, President Freeman, DPW Supervisor Chris Orms, and I met with Ed White and Quinn Passmore regarding the Dairy Festival. We conduct this meeting every year to communicate and make sure that operations run safe and smoothly. I look forward to Dairy Festival 2026 and would like to thank the entire Dairy Festival committee as they navigate through changes and new ideas in hopes of promoting new ideas and preserving Elsie traditions. We have received additional quotes for the walking path down at Elsie Park and will also need to add the selected quote to action steps, as I would like to get this project going as soon as possible so residents and visitors of Elsie can enjoy the new walking path before fall. I believe 2 quotes were in your packet. We did receive one more. It's basically the same amount. So. I've been contacted by Miss Collins of the Ovid Elsie Middle School in hopes of participating in Beautification Day for the Ovid Elsie communities, organized by the 8th grade students. This event will take place on May 26th from 8:15 to 11:15. We will be down at the Elsie Park planting flowers and spreading mulch near the pavilions. So Kelsey and I are going to put the kids to work, and we look forward to doing that with them. I have a scheduled meeting with LEAP tomorrow and look forward to moving forward with economical development here in the village of Elsie. I believe MEDC and LEAP are actively advocating for the village of Elsie and our future developments with the Old School Project and our downtown district. Our street administrator, Joe Undersized, has been in and out of the office working with both DPW supervisor and myself in hopes of prioritizing improvements to our roads and sidewalks here in the village of Elsie. As always, looking for another great month here in Elsie.
Thank you, Chief.
I make a motion to approve the manager report.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the manager's report. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Who seconded that?
I have Corey, or me, Mark.
It's what now.
Chris's turn.
This didn't make me want to cry.
Well, I'll start where Kelsey
Not yet.
started
Not yet.
for me. We, had a leak down in the park last year by pavilion number 3, so before I turned the water on, I wanted to fix it. Well, we found 2 more pipes we didn't know were there. And them are broken all the way back, so we gotta pick them up. So there was a hole down there by pavilion 3. And we went down there to hook that back up and found another leak by pavilion 2, so we gotta dig that up too. That's why the water's off the park, half the park. The other half has water. But for some reason, it's all breaking this year down there, and probably because I have nothing to dig with, so I'm assuming. But that will be fixed soon as we get time out of the cemetery. Because right now, the cemetery is growing an inch a day. And I think right now they've got 3/4 of it weed whacked. And half it moved for the second time. So they moving right along. We're going to have it done by Memorial Day this year, I hope. But I did get some good news. Our motors have arrived. I don't have them, but Kennedy has them, and I'm waiting for them to call me to schedule to put them in. That's for the lift station down there. And I'm sure the guys will be ecstatic. It's only been September, I think it was, since we started pumping that.
We're gonna have so much more time for activities now.
Well, we've been through 2 trash pumps since our motors went. Well, we're on our second trash pump, I should say. Meters are still going in. I think we did, I counted the work orders, because that's the only way I had to count them. Is 27 of them for this month, in April.
You still have 100 and change to go.
About 113, I think, is what I got figured out, 112 and that-ish.
And And these are just the holdouts.
No, not all of them. Well, I shouldn't say that. They all have been notified at some point to make an appointment. We do go, I have gone door to door, like 1 week, we had it 4 scheduled, 1 every day but 1, and we fit in 3 one day, you know. Trying to teach you boys not hard to go knock on the door.
I see you're home.
It's, got, I don't know, quite a few of them by you down back to the west.
Upper East Side is a challenge.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I think there's 4 right there already there.
You should talk to your neighbors though.
What's the deputy doing?
The new kids?
Yeah,
I
just
don't
let them
really
know
know.
that-
They said that by the
When I
end of
see
the
them.
grant period, but we don't really know when the grant period is.
We actually, I told Treasury, or we told Treasury, and David Secor from Treasury, that we try to get them all done by the end of June, and that's what we're gonna try to do. So,
We're
I think
gonna-
we're doing good though. For what I have to work with, we're doing really good, I think.
And the
If you wanna do mine, just show it to my house.
Yours already done.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think all of yours.
I don't go in that room very often.
I think there's only one over there.
There's nobody in here that's not done. So.
I'll talk
Nice.
to the neighbor kids.
I think the one right next to you is done. It's the 2 or 3.
Oh, you've already done
That's
243?
I think so, yeah. Because they just recited it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he took his antenna off.
Mm-hmm.
So I send the guy there to do that kind of, I can tell when you do that, it's no signal anymore. So, we do have one that is, the meter's spinning backwards because apparently it was installed backwards a long time ago, and I'm still trying to get in that guy.
So they're creating water?
We're not paying them, are we?
Well, yes, they wanted to. But I, estimated it, but, we found caught a lot of people's leakage by it. Elderly lady in town, I went to her house and says, "You got something wrong. You've been using a lot of water." And she lives by herself. And, but it's the first time I've ever seen is a water heater leaking. I've never seen that before. Usually it's a water softener, the toilets. I've never seen a water heater.
I've seen it all the time.
And
That's what happened to ours.
she didn't know it, it was just going right out the door, right outside of her house. And so I helped her, I shut it off, got it stopped, and made her happy, so. That's what the system did for us. We didn't wait until we got a bill for it. Because I get alerts if there's a continuous flow. They have an account, and they'll send me an email. I can't open that email, but I can go on the system and look around and see who's doing it, because the firewall won't let me open it. So it's paid off a lot. It solved a lot of arguments already. Had one lady, we went to go over her antenna quit working. She goes, "Well, you can't look at it, it's underwater. My basement's flooded." Okay, so I went back and looked at her account, and I said, "You sure that water's coming from the outside?" Ended up she had a broken pipe in there and was going through the meter spinning it. So, the system's really paid off, I think, for the community. So, what else I got here? Pump 2 at pump 2 at the lagoon. I put this in my report for a couple months now. It seems like it's running double what the other one's doing. So I tried to put it in standby because it's still pumping, but not real efficient. So I put it in standby, use the other one until we can get there and pull it and see if there's something stuck in there or else it's going
Is
bad.
that something you can pull, or do we have to?
No, I can pull it. Just gotta have time. I pump one down here, so I'm stuck in it again. So that tripped the breakers. We already talked about the bids. I think that's all I got.
These bids have the walk path in them too, or is that?
Yeah, no, this is
Because I didn't see the
No,
walk
this is
paths.
just-
This is just for the repairs for the main brakes.
Gotcha. the main big breaks and then the sunken road,
Yeah.
that's by the tub.
And we're kind of holding off, me and Dustin talked about holding off on that due to the,
Yeah, 'cause if his grant comes through, he's gotta tear it up anyways.
Right.
he's gonna tear it up hopefully this summer anyway. So I put $7,000 into it.
Just to dig it back out.
But just for the main breaks from McCurney at $6,700. And for Mike and Sons, who finally got back a hold of me, was $10,000.
You might have the
Yeah.
bids.
Yeah,
What were the bids for the walk path?
Bids for the walk path, one was $48,600.
$48,000?
Yeah. 48,600 from, and that one's from Smith Paving out of Owasso. And then the other one,
This is for the walking path, right?
yes,
Yeah, this is strictly just the walking path.
That kind of confused a lot, though.
I don't disagree, but 48,000 seems like.
and then the other one is from Mike and Sons Asphalt, that one was 56,181.
This is completely stripping it down and redoing the whole thing, and then.
Oh no, that's
No,
like
this is
70 grand.
This is literally just
Replace.
grind it,
Put 2 inches
grind
on.
it, cap it.
Yeah.
But they also said that, well, probably 10, 15 years it would buy us, I'm
Right.
assuming,
Yeah.
so.
And again, we have to spend 10% of the Act 51 money.
Yeah, we
So-
had the money in the budget for that.
Yes, so this isn't money that we're just spending out of the general fund, we have to spend up to 10%.
Right.
So right now, we added that to our budget, the 46,000. McCurney for the walking path was, I need my
I wanna
glasses.
say 43.
What was it?
I think it was 43.
I think originally, right here, it says for the sum, this is the quote, for the sum of $47,990. But if we went with him to do the patching for the asphalt, which he actually was the cheapest for the break, or the water stuff, that word I don't like to say, so, that's what we recommend, Chris and I, because the prices are basically all the same, and he was cheaper for the patching, so if we do it all at the same time, it's one company,
How soon could he get down there and get that rolling?
that I don't know.
You know,
It's earlier enough in the year, we could still get it done this year, right?
It'd
Yeah,
be
I'm
awesome
hoping.
if we had it.
So if we
Really
take
still
Pine
enjoy it.
Street off the equation, that was the $6,000 rate there by tub, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we take that off the equation and we do go with McInerney, and even at the 47,990, if we add in all the street repairs, we're at a total of, not counting Pine, we're at a total of 54,690.
Let's do it.
We have that in the budget.
We do, because we move, like she said, we have to spend that certain threshold, and that was 46,000.
We need a motion for that?
We do.
Can we? Because there's nothing on the agenda for that.
Yeah.
We can add, I can add things to the action steps,
Yeah.
yeah.
Action
Oh.
steps.
I'll make a motion to get that project rolling and get the streets fixed.
I'll support that.
Probably should add a dollar amount,
What'd you say the dollar amount was on that?
54,690, not to exceed 55,000.
Okay,
Let's
I'll
say
make,
56,000.
56.
If you're okay, it's your motion,
yeah, yep,
just to give us.
make a motion to spend up 56,000 on the street repairs and getting that walking path done.
Motion's been made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. You want a roll call on that?
Yeah, we might as well do a roll call.
Yeah.
Joe Underside,
Aye.
Tom Frank,
Aye.
Corey Wet,
Aye.
motion to approve Chris's report, I apologize.
I'll motion,
Oh, go ahead.
I'll motion to approve the DPW report.
I'll support that.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. He wasn't asking for money, so I kind of overshot him.
That's all right, we'll spend it for you this month.
Indirectly, he is telling us that we're gonna need to look at another pump.
Probably eventually.
We need to get to the point where we have one on the shelf.
Or two.
Well, the trouble is, none of the lift stations have the same pumps,
No,
right?
all three lift stations are different.
So you'd have to have 3 different $20,000 pumps.
No, that weren't 7.
Oh,
Never 3.
See,
That's
so with
fine.
your math, we can get 3 of each.
deal.
Yeah.
I thought we paid way more than that for those last ones. What did we pay? Didn't we pay like $17,000 for?
Probably for them up there,
Oh,
the big ones up there, yeah.
Well, and every time it seems like we're blowing the board at how much, so.
yep, those all live in nice little apartments now.
Not that one up there. That's next.
That's why asset management software is so important. You're not able to kick the can down the road too long. Is that right, Elaine?
Eventually, you gotta fix something.
Exactly. Not all at once.
Not all at once.
All right, on to action steps. Need a motion for approval of resolution 26-0002, adopting final project planning document for water system improvement and designating an authorized representative.
Which would be
You.
the village manager.
You read the resolution, it says right there.
Yeah, it says right on there. I read it. I did not read the phone book yet.
I didn't either. I was glad that there was a lot in there. I went blank stare after a few pages.
You can read that whole thing in an hour?
She did, I bet.
You read faster than I do.
She reads for bed.
Kitchen.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution 26-0002 and assign Destiny as the authorized representative.
I'll second that.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the resolution 26-0002. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Roll call on this one as well,
We
please.
certainly hope we can find a grant under the rock someplace.
Right.
Joe Underside,
Aye.
Sam Frank,
Aye.
Corey West,
Aye.
Mark Howell,
Aye.
Todd
Aye.
Carroll,
That's better.
Dorothy Reynolds, Jason Freeman.
Aye.
Second meeting.
When we did have the Elsie Dairy Festival meeting, they did request that we give them authorization to submit an application for charitable gaming for the 50/50.
As long as I win.
We got
No
donated
guarantee.
back.
Is there an asterisk there?
I still move to do that.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Have we ever given them a gaming?
We've
I didn't know we did.
We've never done it before.
Yeah, I don't think they hasn't
Oh, they've never had a
ever done 50/50.
No. Mark's giving out free ones.
What do I get?
What?
Oh, okay.
All right, public comment? Yes, sir.
As you know, I'm Tim Regal. I'm a Fairfield Township trustee, and I'm here on behalf also of the Fire Authority. Just to remind you that it's now been well over a year, and we're still waiting to get things taken care of. Okay? We have received a legal opinion that as a village, you need to be a contracting municipality. Not, that we need some form of contract between the village and the authority in order to cover our legal basis. If we don't have that, that's going to cause problems for both the authority and for the village. Okay? That's as simple as it gets. I don't know what to say. We've been going through this for a long time. and there seems to be some issues. I don't know if it's a personality problem, if it's something else. But this needs to be resolved.
So when you say that this has been going on for a while, the authority was just
when
formed,
did-
wasn't it?
When did you send that letter, Jason?
When
The
did
one
I
that
send
said-
the letter?
This, yeah.
That was different.
that,
You guys
is
wanted
that
an
April
authority
to
then,
start it?
weren't you?
Is that what makes a difference?
The contract that was just offered was for us to pay. That was just given a month ago.
Correct. That was
It's only
just
been a
offered
month.
a month ago, so it hasn't been a year.
We haven't even had a chance to discuss it.
And I believe
They're coming to our
they're on
meeting
the
in
agenda
June.
next.
Correct.
We wanna work with the fire board and your fire authority. We just, obviously, we have a lot of stuff going on right now, and we asked to put them on our June agenda so that we could
So
deal with the FD stuff.
a month ago, when we were given an agreement,
We offered to meet with you. You turned us down.
no, they
Yes.
were, the request was to be put on the agenda for this
Yes.
evening.
And that wasn't acceptable, okay. This is part of our problem, okay? You know, when they were the fire department instead of a fire authority, what was the hangup for that year?
There was a lot of hang up there, I think we can all agree on that.
But this is something that's been ongoing. There are going to be, at some point, legal problems. They need to be resolved.
Agreed.
Agreed. We will have you on the agenda for next month.
Yes,
All right.
we will.
Absolutely. We want it resolved just like you do.
I'm glad to hear that.
Matter of fact, I mean, we didn't even get a chance to talk to our village attorney or anything about this, because again, we've been busy, so I look forward to meeting with your fire board and your fire authority next month. I think that'd be great. I think it's time that we all work together. Takes a village.
Yeah.
Not just one entity.
Well, in this instance, it's 3 townships in a village.
Actually, 3 townships, the village is part of the township.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Any other public comment?
I have paperwork for those of you that are going to run for office. They're due July 21st at 4 p.m.
Thank you, ma'am.
You said July 21st?
Yes.
I feel targeted.
It's election season.
I know I'm getting phone calls.
Look at the times roll.
I haven't got phone calls yet, just text messages. Just type
Also,
stop.
oh, one other thing, we will be having a public hearing on June 25th. U.S. Fish and Wildlife will be here, MDNR, to talk about what's going on down at the dam. We
It didn't
are,
happen to wash away in that storm, did it?
part of the south wing did, or excuse me, the north wing. Plus, I have a new furry friend that I really, really like.
Where did the bike go?
River otters are awesome. You know what they do? They eat mussels.
Yeah, the bike's gone.
No, it's not.
It's not standing upright like it was.
Well, it's laying down, but it's still there.
Somebody needs to get out there and fix the bike
It will
before I
be,
contribute anything.
Our
I will not be
Um,
participating until the bike, we're gonna protest this.
Our engineer will be there, and they're going to start
Probably gonna be
relocating
another grant for it.
mussels on June 8th.
You're gonna have to get another grant to get that bike stood up.
I don't want to talk, we talked
Save the
today.
bike. Save the bike!
You
Put
guys,
posters up all over town!
so let me ask you, how many entities, on your water project, how many entities are you gonna work with? Eagle? Eagle. Who
Anybody that'll
else?
help.
Who else?
Because
We had a meeting today and we have 18. Work with 18 and see what you can get accomplished, not much,
We have no muscles.
not much.
Yeah, we don't have any muscles.
Yeah,
Yes, Chris.
Jeez.
I mean, you guys have no idea what it's like working with 18 entities. They have not had a dam project that is this complicated, and it's not even that big of a dam, because there's so many entities.
Oh, really?
Not fun.
Any other public comment?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Or motion been made and seconded to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion
Motion carried.